Picture this. You walk into someone's home and it is absolutely lovely. There is that super cozy, warm lighting, beautiful colors. For me, it's something that's so neutral and inviting. There are family photos everywhere, those cozy, fun throw pillows that make you just want to sit and read a book. And you immediately feel welcome, like you could stay for hours chatting with this person. Now, let's say this person has a small business, and later you go to check out their business website, and it's like walking into a corporate office or a sterile doctor's office from the 90s with a white, stark background, generic stock photos, the one with the team around the table. I know you know the one I'm talking about. Copy that sounds like it was written by a robot, and you immediately start to think, wait, is this the same person? I see this disconnect all the time, and it breaks my heart because your website should feel just as welcoming and as authentic as you are in person. And here's the thing, website design isn't exactly about making something pretty, just like interior design isn't about matching the curtains to your couch or making sure that everything is coordinated. Both are about creating a space that feels authentically like you and that makes people want to stick around, that brings out your personality. And today I want to talk about why your website is basically the interior design of your business soul and how thinking about it in this way can completely transform how you can show up online. Because when someone lands on your website, they should immediately feel that same warmth and connection that they'd get from walking into your actual office or meeting you at a coffee shop or at that networking meeting. So let's get into the episode. Welcome to Website Design Made Simple, the podcast for busy small business owners who want a high-performing website that converts and sells their offers, even while they're sleeping. Because you deserve to have a strategic and beautiful website that truly represents your brand and positions you as the expert that you are. I'm your host, Jenny B, web designer and creative director at Jenny B Designs, where we believe that your website is the one thing that makes you sales and builds your brand at the same time. Ready to say goodbye to a website that you're embarrassed to share? And hello to a money-making, personality-packed powerhouse? Let's head into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to the pod. This is a fun one. The idea for this episode came when I just finished a website design for a law agency, a small, personable law agency. And the difference between their old website and the new website was absolutely astonishing. And it mostly was about just bringing the lawyer's personality to life online with their beautiful, warm colors. And they had an awesome photo shoot, and we were able to incorporate some professional yet really approachable and cozy photos with brand new written copy that created a website, a product that was so personable and emotional that I was excited about it. And I was chatting with AI like I normally do, talking about what's been going on and asking AI to give me some ideas about how I can share about this project in a podcast episode. And one of the suggestions was talking about website design and how it likens to interior design, but it's just for your business soul. And I thought, what a neat concept, because this is so true. And today I want to share with you how I view website design and how you can make this parallel and maybe make a few changes within your own site to reflect your personality and what your business soul really should be bringing out online. So, quick introduction if we haven't already met. My name is Jenny B, and I own Jenny B Designs. We're a brand and web design studio. My passion is helping you, small business owners, build a website that has personality and uniqueness and fun and is authentic to who you are and that attracts your ideal clients and makes you money. Because at the end of the day, that's why you have a website, to make you money. Now let's start from the top. I talked about that scenario when you walk into someone's home and you get that cozy connection versus going to a website that is outdated. There's that disconnect. When someone's physical space feels warm and inviting, or their personality, like when you meet them at a networking event, they feel warm and inviting and chatty and helpful, but then they give you their business card, you go to their website and it feels cold and corporate. There's a disconnect there. And there's this concept that your website should feel like the digital version of your dream office, bringing that personality to life online. Now, the interior design parallel, and this is fun because I've worked with a bunch of interior designers, and if anyone else has, you know that they don't just make spaces pretty. Yes, pretty is important, but they make them functional, and reflective of who actually lives in the space. If you have a family, they're creating family rooms that work for all your different family members. If you have young children, they're making these rooms that have places for all the toys and the games and all the things that little kids need. It is beautiful, but it's functional. And a website works the same way. It's not just about being trendy or what's popular now. It's about representing your business's personality, bringing that out online. And that's what I talk about a lot. And sharing this episode with you is going to help you understand how I see the role that your website can play in your business. Now, the difference between, say, a staged home and a lived-in home is very similar to a templated website versus a custom design. When you have a templated website, it's like a staged home. It is built for someone, but it's not built specifically for you or for your needs. And when you have that lived-in home, one that an interior designer is designing for you and your family of 5, that's a custom design. And I believe that when you have a custom design website, it should fit your needs exactly and work for you the best way possible. Let's talk about room by room, because we can go through the whole website and I can break it down for you. Let's start with the homepage. What do you think I'm going to say the homepage is like? It is like your front door, your entryway, and it sets the tone for everything. We have 3 seconds or less to catch someone's attention when they land on that hero section, when they first get to your website. You need to immediately communicate who you are, what you do, and how you help your visitors, and a button to have them take the next step in their journey. And that wow factor makes people want to explore further. So having that beautiful photo that represents the results that your services bring when you land on that website is an important piece of the puzzle. Those words that pop behind or on top or below of that photo that they can see as soon as they land. Just like your front door. When you see those beautiful doors, see them all the time, beautiful painted doors with the wreaths, and then they've got the doormats out front and they have the columns of flowers. You just really want to go in and see what that house has to offer, just like your homepage. Now, your about page. This is like your living room. When people want to get comfortable and get to know you, have a little chat, it should feel conversational and welcoming, not like a stuffy corporate boardroom, meaning you want to avoid those stock photos of people sitting around the table, of people in an office having a conversation. If you work in an office, that's wonderful. Stage some photos with you and someone else. We don't want stock photos. We want it to be emotional. And the copy on this page truly needs to come from you, from your business, and speak to the heart of what you do and how you help others. It needs to be conversational. Let your personality shine here. It's where people are getting to know you, that about page. When they move to your services page, this is kind of like that office page in your house. It's approachable, but professional. And most importantly, everything is organized and easy to find. When someone lands on your services page, you want it all laid out so that someone knows exactly how you can help them. If you have packages, you're listing the packages. Most likely you're listing your investment or you're starting at investment. So people know exactly what they're going to get when they work with you and there are no questions left. Everything is easily organized and easy to find. That will be your services page. And when you move to the testimonials throughout your website, or if you have a portfolio, this is similar to that photo gallery that you see in a home. The family photos, the memories on the walls, it tells the story of relationships and experiences, and it makes a visitor feel the warmth of connection. The same thing applies to your case studies, your portfolio, your testimonials. If you have these on your blog or you have a specific post type where you're sharing, you're talking about how you were able to change the lives of your clients and the results that they got working with you. This is the stories, the memories, the relationships, and it is feeling that connection right there. Now, once you build your website, there are some design elements that can create this feeling. And I have quotations going up when I say the word feeling. This is how I bring out the personality on a website. The first one would be your branding, starting with your logo, your visual logo, and then moving into the colors of your brand. Just like the paint choices that you choose for your house, they set the mood. If it's warm versus cold, energetic versus calming, exciting, things like that. Understanding the colors of your brand palette and then using them throughout your website. Maybe you have a really trustworthy brand. We tend to lean into the greens and the blues for that. If there is an action color that you're using on your website, you would be using that for your buttons to make someone take action. If you have a red in your palette, maybe those are your buttons. So when people see that red button, they know they've got to take action. And then photography, the photos that you use from your website. It's the difference between those family photos on your wall versus stock art. You want to create these branded images on your website. Try to avoid those stock sites and grabbing stock photography. Instead, we all have an iPhone or a high-quality phone that takes decent pictures. Stage some photos. Think about what you can do if you work with people. Have a friend come and stage some photos. Think about using some branded photos. What I mean by that is, if you work with a computer, maybe take a picture of you typing on a keyboard or you using a mouse, just seeing your hand. If there's a notebook that you use, take a picture of the notebook. Maybe you have some printed items in your actual physical office that you can take a picture of. Whatever you can do to create your own custom branded stock art would be the best way forward. And then looking at your copy and your messaging, deciding if you want to be formal versus conversational. I personally believe that it's best to be conversational with your copy, personable, make that emotional connection. People want to form that emotional connection, learn about your business. They want to have that feeling when they get on your website, and having messaging and copy that does this can make the difference between someone reaching out to you or not. And then finally, the flow, the user experience, the layout of your website is like that furniture that you arranges. It's either welcoming when someone walks into your living room, they can easily sit down at your couch, or it creates barriers. Maybe you've got the coffee table in the middle of the walkway. That would be a barrier. Understanding when you're building your website, making sure that there's enough white space, that you're guiding people from page to page throughout your website to that contact page where you want someone to take action. Now, some common decorating mistakes that I see can apply to both your room in your house with interior design and your website. And the first is an overstuffed, overcrowded room. Too much information. Too much furniture in your house, too much information on your website, cluttered pages, not enough white space. I always like to think when I design a website that I look at what I have on the page and then what can I take away? I'm always asking myself, what can I take away? And that's really hard because you want to make sure that you're sharing enough information and that you're getting your point across. But I guarantee you, if you take something away, what's there will be more important and feel more spacious. The second mistake is the sterile room. It's beautiful, but it has no personality. Maybe it's a super modern, trendy room. It's got white walls, white furniture, straight lines, beautiful, but there's no personality. It doesn't have that favorite throw blanket that has a color. There's no personality. And when you look at your website, if there's no personality, meaning that you don't have these beautiful photos or you don't have a branded color in there that has a little bit of fun and it's just a black and white website. Although I will say there are black and white websites that are done really well, but they have personality. There's just that something there that's missing. That is a mistake that I see. There's also the mistake of mismatched styles. When you go to someone's house, you look at it, and if it's a modern house and you walk in and you've got modern furniture on one side, but then you've got hand-me-downs on the other, there's this disconnect. And the same thing goes for your website. If maybe you had a professional headshot done and you're wearing your corporate blazer and it's so buttoned up and professional, but then you've got messaging on your website that's talking to someone being like, hey, bestie, like what's going on? Very casual copy. There's that disconnect. I'm not saying that one way or the other is right or wrong. It's just you're mixing those styles and they're mismatched. When you have everything matched, it creates a cohesive flow throughout your personality. And then finally, the last one is outdated decor. And this has been happening with me. I built my house in 2011, and I am finding that everything that we designed, we picked out everything, is kind of gone out of style. It doesn't reflect who my family is today. And I'm actually on my own DIY journey, learning how to do all kinds of carpentry and fun skills within the house. But I have been updating room by room because there's outdated decor going on in my house. Same thing goes for your website. You need to update your website as your business changes. No business stays the same. It truly doesn't. And you want to make sure that you are updating your website as your business changes. Now, let's talk about, how do you find this business soul? How do you identify your authentic business personality? Ask yourself, if your business was a room, what would it feel like? I happen to ask a lot of my clients, what are 3 adjectives that you want your brand to be? Is it comforting? Is it friendly, approachable? Is it like your best friend? But if your business was a room, what would it feel like? Would it be a busy kitchen with lots of smells going on? Would it be a modern living room that has comfort with personality pops here and there? Think about that. What would it feel like? And I want to emphasize the importance of aligning who you are in person with who you are online. Because when I meet someone out in a networking event and we have a great conversation and I feel that emotional connection to them, and I think, this would be a great partner, or they would be able to help my clients so well. I just feel like they would naturally align with what I'm doing, trying to bring out the personality of my clients online. Then I go to their website and I see a corporate website that doesn't even have a photo of them on there, and the copy and messaging isn't speaking to my people. I think that there's a misalignment. It's important to make sure that when you meet someone in person, when they go to your website, they know, yes, this is Jenny's website. This totally feels like her. And authenticity truly helps attract better clients than trying to be what you think people want. I spent a long time in the beginning of my business journey putting out there what I thought a web design agency should look like, and writing my website copy and putting the pictures out there that I thought that people were expecting. But when I embraced who I was and I decided this is how I'm running my business, these are the photos that I want, these are the words that I want to connect with, I connect with clients better that are actually looking to work with me. Keep that in mind, that authenticity is better than trying to be what you think people want. So what do you do? Let's talk about this digital interior design taking action. What do you do? Do a simple audit. Look at your website. Does it feel like you? Does it bring out your personality? And if not, what's one change that you can make this week to bring some more personality online? If you are looking at your website and you think the whole thing needs to be looked at and you need some more of your personality infused, then it might be time to consider a redesign. If that is the case, you can book a consultation call in the show notes, and I would love to have a chat with you and talk about what we can do together to make your website reflect more of who you are and who your business is. But for the rest of you, if you have a DIY site and you just look at it, maybe you can add a little bit of more personality in the copy in the hero section. Maybe there's a new photo that you can add there that will have a little bit more of a punch. Or thinking about your contact page, look at your form, look at the words there. Can you add something that just has a little bit of oomph of you that brings out your personality? So to leave you with it, I've given you a lot of information, and I've shared with you the similarities between interior design and website design. And just take a look at your website and see what is one thing that you can do this week to bring out your personality. I thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you next week. And that wraps up another episode of Website Design Made Simple. I hope you found the insights shared in this episode valuable and takes you one step closer to creating a website that attracts more of your ideal clients and builds your brand. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Your review will help us reach more small business owners like you who are ready to make more money with their website. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.